G'day. If your class is learning to create spreadsheets, one of the biggest challenges is getting students to understand why we use different features, not just where to click. In this video, we're going to build a field tracking spreadsheet step by step using formatting, formulas, drop-down menus, and automatic calculations. It is designed for Year 6 students, but these skills will work across upper and lower primary as well. Stop the video whenever you need and build alongside me. Before we start adding formulas and fancy features, we first need to think about the purpose of our spreadsheet. This spreadsheet is really just a tool for collecting and organising our data. In this case, we're tracking fuel prices over time. So let's think about the information we actually need to collect. We'll need the date, the petrol station name, the fuel price, the number of litres, the total cost, and the percentage of the fuel tank that we filled. A mistake students often make is jumping straight into formulas before they've planned their data properly. At the moment, this spreadsheet technically works, but it's not very easy to read. A good spreadsheet should be clear and easy for users to understand quickly. Firstly, I'm going to resize these columns so that the text is visible properly. I'll create a title. I'm going to merge these cells together and center the heading so the users can immediately understand the purpose of the spreadsheet. Next, I'll add some formatting to the headings. This helps important information stand out and makes the spreadsheet easier to navigate. Dates can become messy very quickly because everyone writes them differently. Some people use slashes, some use dots, while others write the month first. Instead of relying on everyone typing dates the same way, we can apply date formatting. This standardizes how the dates appear across the spreadsheet. One of the best spreadsheet tools for reducing mistakes is data validation. Instead of typing station names manually every single time, you can create a drop-down menu. First, you need to create the list of fuel stations. To do this, make a new sheet and rename it drop-down. Then, type the names of the stations. Back on the original sheet, select the cell where the users will enter the fuel station names. Now we'll click on Data Validation and we will choose List so the information comes from our list. From here, I need to force the data being entered to come from my list. So use the Source tool to navigate to your list. Once you press OK, each cell now contains a small drop-down arrow that users can use to choose their station quickly and consistently. Fuel prices and total costs should display as currency. Entering numbers correctly makes spreadsheets much easier to understand. We'll format these cells as dollars with 2 decimal places so the data is clear and consistent. We can also use conditional formatting to help users quickly identify important information visually. In this case, I want cheaper fuel prices to stand out in green and more expensive prices to appear in red. Instead of reading every single number individually, the user can now spot pricing patterns instantly. Begin by clicking in the cell we want to format. In the Home tab, click on the Conditional Formatting, and we will use highlighting cell rules to make the colours appear. This can be repeated many times to make different colours appear when different conditions are met. This is useful when spreadsheets contain large amounts of data because colours help users analyse information more quickly. And let's be honest, seeing expensive fuel prices in red just feels right. Now we can make the spreadsheet do some actual work for us. Instead of calculating totals manually every single time, we can use a formula. This formula will multiply the price of fuel by the number of litres purchased. To do this, click into the cell, type equals. Click on the cell price per litre times, which in Excel is the asterisk or shift 8. Click on the litres purchased, hit enter or click the tick. The spreadsheet now calculates the total cost automatically. This is one of the biggest advantages of spreadsheets. Enter the data and the calculations update instantly. Instead of rewriting the same formula over and over again, we can use the fill handle. This copies formulas, drop-down menus and formatting down the spreadsheet automatically. It's a real time saver. It also slightly reduces the chance of your students saying spreadsheets are too much work. Now we'll calculate how much of the fuel tank was filled after each purchase. To do this, we'll use a formula where we divide the litres purchased by the tank capacity. We also need to format the cell as percentage by right-clicking and formatting the cell. But there's a problem when we copy the formula down. The tank capacity cell changes position as well. To fix this, we use something called an absolute cell reference. This locks the cell so that it stays fixed when the formula is copied down using the handle. By putting $signs in the cell name, it locks this as an absolute cell. Now that we have all our individual fuel costs, we can calculate the total amount spent on fuel altogether. To do this, we use the sum formula. Start by clicking in the cell where you want your total to appear. Type equals, then sum, followed by an opening bracket. Now drag across all of the total cost cells that you want to add together. Excel automatically places the range into the formula. Close the bracket, press enter, and the spreadsheet calculates the total automatically. One of the biggest advantages of formulas like sum is that if any values change later, the totals update automatically without any need to recalculate manually. Finally, let's make the spreadsheet user-friendly. I'm going to add borders and shading so that it's obvious where users should enter information. A spreadsheet's design isn't just about the calculations and formulas, it's also about communication. And there we go. A completed fuel tracking spreadsheet using formulas, formatting, drop-down menus, data validation, automatic calculations, conditional formatting, and absolute references. Hopefully, this gives you a practical spreadsheet project you can adapt for your own class. Thanks for watching. If you need any more details on formatting, formula, or drop-down menus, have a look on my channel, and I'll catch you next time.